Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today we will continue on chapter 2, demand and supply analysis. Under economics, goods are categorized into the following three groups, which are free goods, public goods, and private goods. Free goods is goods that are available without production and are usually referred to as gift of nature. For example, sunlight, river, air. While public goods is a common use and are benefit to everyone. For example, public clinics, school, and etc. And lastly, we have private goods, which is involve a cost of production and things of value that can be seen and touched. For example, clothes and books. What is a market? A market is a group of buyers and sellers of a particular goods or service. Buyers will determine demand, while sellers will determine supply. The definition of demand. Demand is the ability and willingness to buy specific quantities of goods and services in a given period of time at a particular price, ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus is a term in economics which refers to holding other factors constant while some other factors change. Law of demand is when the price increase, quantity will decrease. States that the higher the price of a product, the lower is the quantity demand for that product, and vice versa, ceteris paribus, which is P stand for price, Q stand for quantity, which is P and Q have negative relationship. When P increase, quantity will decrease. There are two types of demand in the market, which is individual demand and market demand. Individual demand refers to the relationship between the quantity demand by a single buyer and its price, while market demand is a relationship between the total quantity demand by all buyers in the market and its price. This is the illustration of demand curve, which is demand curve is downward sloping from left to right. And as you can see, when the price of the product increase, the quantity of the demand will decrease. For example, when the product at the price of 5 ringgit, the quantity of demand is 200 unit. While if the price decrease from 5 ringgit to 1 ringgit, then the quantity demand for 1 ringgit will be at 500 units. So this is acceptable as the law of demand. When the price decrease, quantity will increase, which is negative relationship between price and quantity. So this is the graph to show the changes in quantity demand happen. Change in quantity demand occurs when the price of a product changes and there is movement along the demand curve. The change in quantity demand is caused by the change in the price of the good itself. And as you can see, if the price increases from P1 to P2, the quantity demand will fall from Q1 to Q2. And if the price decreases from P2 to P1, the quantity demand will increase from Q2 to Q1. Change in quantity demand occurs when the price of product changes and the movement is along the demand curve. The decrease in the quantity demand is known as contraction in demand or upward movement. When there is downward movement, means increase in quantity demand, or we call it as expansion in demand. This one is illustration of change in demand. So change in demand will occur when other factors change, but the price of a product is constant and the demand curve shift, either shift to the right from D1 to D2 or shift to the left from D1 to D3. Change in demand occurs when there are changes in other factors such as population, income, price of related goods, and other factors. But for your information, in change in demand, price of the product will remain constant. Then the demand curve will shift to the right or shift to the left. Increase in demand, the movement of demand curve will shift from D1 to D2. This is the factors that will shift the demand curve to the right or shift to the left based on the factor. As you can see in A graph, which is factors that increase demand. For example, taste shift to greater popularity, population likes to buy rises, income rises, price of substitute rises, price of complements falls, future expectation encourage buying. While for B graph, it will decrease the demand. So this is the factors that will decrease demand. For example, taste shift to lesser popularity, population likely to buy drops, income drops for normal goods, price of substitute falls, price of complements rises, and future expectation discourage buying. This is the listed of non-price determination of demand which will shift the demand curve to the right or to the left. For example, we have changes in disposable income, changes in the size of the population, changes in the price of substitute goods, changes in the price of complementary goods, changes in fashion or taste, buyers' expectation on future price. And we will discuss this slide into another video, additional video. Exceptional demand, it against the law of demand, whereas the price increases, the quantity demand will also increase. Exceptional demand occurs in the following cases, which is for given goods and Veblen goods. Given goods are inferior goods that have few substitutes and are normally consumed by those in the poor income group. They are poor quality goods of which the poorer households spend a major portion of their income on. For example of given goods are low quality potatoes and broken rice. While Veblen goods are goods bought by people in the higher income group to show off their status, as these goods have snob appeal. For example, diamond, luxury cars, and etc. When the price of diamonds increases, more will be bought at a higher price. If the price of diamond falls, then diamonds will no longer be considered as prestige goods. The rich may stop buying diamonds and start considering them as a cheap products. Therefore, the quantity demand of diamond would fall. There is a direct relationship between the price and quantity demand of diamond. Okay, that's all for this slide. Thank you.